I happened to wake up before the girls this morning, so my favorite time of the morning is when they just wake up and Callie will come into my bed and I'll grab chili and we'll just like lay in my bed and cuddle. But they always want their milk, so normally I've got to get up. So I've got chili's ready, Callie's ready, I'm making my coffee, and then I'm just gonna sit in my room and eagerly wait for them to wake up so we can have our morning cuddles. But it is my absolute favorite. Before they're up though, I am gonna quickly strip off, as cold as it is, and jump on the scales. I've been away camping all weekend, so I haven't weighed myself. And everything's been a bit off. My food wasn't exact, but also I was walking around, 14 to 15,000 steps a day. So I mean, I'm gonna see if it balances itself out a little bit. I'm hoping to be in the 71s is what I'm wanting to see. I honestly do not understand how this happens. These kids wake up 4:35 every morning. Every morning, except the mornings like this morning where I woke up at 4:45. So I was like, well, they'll be up in a minute anyway. So then I get up. It's about to be 6 o'clock and they're not awake, which means I could have slept for another hour. And I didn't. You think I would know by this point? You think I would know? So instead, I'm just editing the YouTube video from a parentcation trip and putting it all together. I can honestly, Callie and the mud was ridiculous, especially with the outdoor showers. I was about ready to throw her in the lake. Well, obviously, I wouldn't. But yeah, I'm just sitting here being salty that I could have slept. I could have slept until 6 a.m. and now I can't. Mummy's favorite time of the morning. Tuesday, I would guess, is a little bit of a me day. I get to smash through some training sessions, not rushed and not at 4:30 in the morning. I also use Tuesdays to cram in as many errands as I possibly can while the girls are at daycare. Any meetings that I have, appointments, possible coffee dates with friends. But today was all about getting in some solid training and then prepping my food for the week ahead. I was planning on cooking lunch, but my chicken is not defrosted, so I am resorting to microwave meals, which is going to probably screw me because how much? Only 35 grams of protein, and my protein is way higher than this, but fats is 36. So once you've been tracking for a while, it does get a lot easier. So for me, I know, this phone is crooked, but for me, I know that I can easily tweak my dinner around comfortably to hit higher protein. I won't have fats in dinner because I'm going to hit them all in this. I don't know why this camera's on such a weird angle. And this will probably use up most of my carbs, that plus breakfast, because my carbs is next to nothing at the moment. So I'll add some packets of the steamed fresh veg to this because I need a big meal. My tummy needs to feel full. So anything like this, if I had my defrosted chicken, I could just add some chicken to it, but I don't. So I'm just going to add some packets of steamed fresh veg on top of this, eat it on the go because I've got to do all of the check-ins and my car is disgusting from camping because my children are feral and just put mud and God knows what else. I think there's a yogurt in my backseat. So I'm going to go drop my car to be cleaned and just sit in the cafe and work through my check-ins because 2 birds, 1 stone, microwaving this. And then I want to come back and mow. I'm loving mowing. Not only am I getting like a tan, but I'm also smashing steps. So mowing is also on my agenda too. All right, back to the reno part. It's been demoed, so I'm just clearing out this ridiculous amount of rubble into this cart so I can wheel the cart to my front yard to put into a trailer. And I haven't cut myself yet. Oh my God. Oh, we are getting there. Honestly, the amount of things I need to pack. So I'm getting everything ready for my lunch today, my lunch tomorrow. The girls obviously get fed at daycare, but then I've got dinner sorted for tomorrow night, for when we get to Brent's house, because no one else is going to be there. He's just staying at the house, so we don't have to drive all the way back down to drive all the way back up again. I think I've got everything. So I'm going to share something super cute. So Brent has cleared out some little areas at his house for me to be able to keep some things. And he left little post-it notes so I knew where all of my little bits of space were, and lets me use his slippers. One, honey? Oh, shit. Yeah, you, Susan? Yeah. One, honey, two honeys. So every Friday, once I drop the girls at daycare, I head over to Alicia's place in the morning. Usually I train first, but I consistently train before we dive in and do my pinches. And then she goes through and does all of my pinches for me. Obviously, it's really hard to stay objective during this prep, and scale weight fluctuates so much, particularly when you're doing the shifts that I'm doing, the stress that I'm doing, my digestive, I don't know, there's just a lot of variables. So every Friday I head around to hers. She does all of the pinches for me, just so we can accurately track how my body fat is dropping and where it's dropping from. And then just so I don't do any crazy drastic deficits or anything like that on myself, she's my little objective set of second eyes. So I bounce all of my prep strategies off her. She's been an absolute gem. So while I'm in prep, I'm also taking sups. I don't normally bother because, I don't know, I just don't normally bother. But in prep, I bother. So I'm going to show you what I'm taking at the moment. So I'm taking a joint collagen supplement. I am taking greens. To be honest, I'm just taking these because I have them. I have so much veggies in my diet. I don't need to take greens to bump up my micronutrient intake, but I'm using them because I have them there. I've been taking this one. I'm not going to put that in this one because I've already had it this morning. So it's a leucine supplement, and leucine is the amino acid that helps with muscle retention, muscle building. So it's a high dose leucine. So I have that one. I am taking, what's that one? Calcium and vitamin D. Do I take this one now? Yep. I am also taking, what else have I got up here? I'm taking a magnesium collagen one before bed, which I won't take now, but yeah, before sleep, which is going to be tomorrow because I've got night shift tonight. I'm having this one before bed. I'm also taking omega-3, so I'm having 3 grams of those a day, and they're in the gross little tablets. Oh my God. Callie the other night was like, I want one of those lollies. And I was like, I promise you won't like this. And she's like, yes, I will. So I was like, okay. I'm like, I love little moments where I know I'm going to be proven right. So I gave her one of the fish oil tablets, and she chews it and it just bursts in her mouth. And she's like, oh, this is disgusting. And she's like running around the house, like washing out her mouth. I was like, told you wouldn't like it. Like just gloating over here like an absolute child. I'm also taking a, what's this one? Glucosamine and chondroitin, again, which is another joint tablet. So I'm taking 2 of those a day. In case you haven't noticed, I've got terrible joints. So doing that. And then I'm also been taking just this immune boost one. Even though it is a bit of double up because it's got like your vitamin D in it. What else? It had something else in here doubled up. Vitamin D, zinc, calcium, vitamin C. So yeah, it's a bit double uppy, but I got given this one. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So I've been taking that also over nighttime. I've also got these little vitamin C sachets that I didn't know were sachets when I bought them. I mean, I did, but I thought they were powder, but they are not powder. They're like this gross little like syrup. So you'll see it. It tastes gross. I do not recommend these, but waste not, want not. So I'm using it, even though it's even like a weird, I don't know, I don't like it. Weird texture, but I'm using them anyway. Throwing those all in there. And then of course I'm taking creatine as well, which I already had in my pre-workout this morning. And then I have my protein powder and my oats. That's it. That's the only supplements I'm taking at the moment. So I say the only, and I just rattled off about 100, but yeah, that is what I'm taking currently. So this is just a little bit of a sneak peek of the EMS machine. I'm going to do a proper review once I've finished all of the sessions and I can compare some photos and really talk about that in a little bit more depth. So then I went to my posing session with the Posing Institute. So I've been doing in-person posing with Samantha Wicks, and she is amazing. I've never felt so confident with my posing going into a show before, so I am really excited about that. I just have to make sure that I am practicing in between the sessions with her and really prioritizing it, because posing makes up a lot of your marks on stage. Hey Callie, how much sugar did you have at the party? That much?
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you jumping on the jumping castle?
Ah!
Chili, did you have fun, honey?
Yes, we did.
You did. Oh, I'm so glad. So, solid way to end the weekend. So Brent took me on a date and said he would plan it. And I'm not used to having a guy plan. So I didn't know where we were going. And he had this like piece of paper with all these like calculations out on it. And it's like calculator out. And I'm like, okay. So the first place we went to, he took me to do a float tank, and it was like one in together. So we like floated around in there together. I was really glad that I hadn't just washed my hair, that it was due for a wash, which sounds petty, but like my hair is hard work. So it was really, really sweet. So we're in there for an hour. And then we went to Kangaroo Point, and he had packed like dinner and like snacks in like an esky and had like a blanket and pillows. And the calculation sheet was him mapping out my quantities of the different snacks to fit in with the dinner that he'd planned. So when we got there, he handed me my own little like plate, and on it had like cheese and like cabana and chocolate coated strawberries that he'd made himself. So we could measure it out, and he'd put it all on there and weighed out all the different portions to me and was like, here you go, like this is yours. It's all factored into the macros you said that you had to work with. For the date, and then he'd pre-cooked like chicken wraps that he'd also all sorted to my macros, and we had those overlooking the water and just talked, and it was probably the best date I've ever been taken on, other than the fact that like I love just sitting and like watching the sunset, like, and just good conversation. Like would much rather that than like fancy restaurants. But I think it was the amount of effort and thought he'd put into pulling it all together. So sweet. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely, I said it before on Instagram, but it's definitely showing me that whole like, if he wanted to, he would. If they wanted to, they would, because yeah, I've never had this, and it's really nice. And on that soppy note, that wraps up my week. So in the video earlier, you would have seen like we had a couple birthday parties, my niece's birthday party, and then I dropped the girls off to Tommy and his new partner because it was her daughter's birthday, so they had her party. So the girls have probably had the best time. Chili was coming down, getting sick, but she seems to have come good now, thank God. I'm like touching all of the woods with this winter sickness, and they're at daycare. I'm just smashing through all of my final check-ins, and then I have a nail appointment, and then I'm gonna go pick up my little girls. I'm definitely adjusting to not having them with me all the time, I suppose, with Tommy having them on weekends. The first couple of weekends, I just like would see little kids out and just cry. So I'm getting used to it, but yeah, it's still, I just miss their little faces. And then no doubt once they're here, like tearing shit up, I'll be like, get back to your dad's. But yeah, it's been a really good week, and it ended on such a nice note.